George Bernard Shaw, a self-confessed communist from Ireland and a founder of the Fabian Society, made it clear Fabianism has its roots in Russia. Yet every single Labour PM in recent decades has been a member of the Fabian Society. June Slater recently highlighted how deep their control of British politics goes.
Every single Labour Prime Minister has been a member of the Fabian Society, and one of their favoured sons is Tony Blair, because he was actually one of the most effective Fabians that they've had to date, because he changed so many things, and he managed to get the civil service changed, as I've said before. The top echelon of civil service, that highly dangerous because they handle all the policies, they actually put them into practice. Ministers draft them up, and it's up to the civil service to implement them. But if they don't like the policy, they make a hash of it. Ian Duncan Smith, Universal Credit, should have been a rip-roaring success for anybody who believes in socialism. But it was a Tory MP who came up with the idea. So it had to fail, and it did fail because the civil service failed it on purpose. And this is synonymous throughout the reign. We're now living in the tail end of a democracy. It's like watching Rome fold, and this is where we live today. But it's not over, it's not game over by a long shot. But everything that's happening to you, that you can knit together, that you can see, you're screaming at your TV set, these people are embedded in the media, they're embedded in governments across the world. Across the world. This Fabian Society is an all-powerful silent glove, and it's got its hand like that on us because it can affect censorship and has done. And it's only since two things have taken place this last few years. Musk buying Twitter. I'm not convinced he's a totally good guy, but at least we've got an element of free speech which has pushed the other platforms to relax a bit. And President Trump winning the election, because he will not be guided by Fabians. Currently, Keir Starmer's a member of the Fabian Society. Half his cabinet is. The human rights lawyers are generally, I've not done the whole list, but looking at them, they seem to be members of the Fabian Society. There's a lot of the judiciary members of the Fabian Society. I mean, just say anything that matters in Great Britain that's got any clout, Ofcom, it's all there. The members of the Fabian Society, and it's their belief that socialism should be spread across the world. Now, the way they do it is by parachuting people into political positions like Macron or Varadkar, getting people into the Bank of England, full of Fabians. This is how powerful they are, and if you Google about it, you can find all this out. This isn't some conspiracy theory. This is, we'll call it the power behind the throne, whatever you want to call it. When people say elites, it always gives me the impression that, oh, these are like really fantastic people who are of such high power. But they're not. They're just determined and they work together. Because all these quangos and NGO boats owned by people who are members of the Fabian Society that are picking migrants up, collecting their phones in carrier bags, eliminating any possibility of ID and shipping them off to places in Europe. It's happening. It's real. You need to Google more and learn about the Fabian Society. There's plenty online at the moment, and I think it would do you no harm to find out more about them, because that way you'll understand why this upcoming election is actually our last chance to stop the rot of what's going on. It's a revolution. It's a very slow one. And we're nearly at the end line. It's like watching somebody in slow motion going to a finish line. But we can take the tape away. They're not going to finish. We're going to beat this. And I think they know it.